to the Anita Market.
And what are we
We
getting?
are on Vanilla Spine.
We're the kids from Barrio Anita and Dunbar Springs.
These neighborhoods are close in location, but yet so far away in culture and everyday life.
People have changed so much it's not even funny.
In Dunbar Springs, there aren't any more Chinese markets and not many African Americans.
Now most people in the neighborhood are white.
Barrio Anita used to be like a family, and now people keep to themselves.
The following are some of the historic facts we learned from long-term residents. Thank you to our generous interviewers.
These are the stories of the street.
So we are the story.
Dunbar Springs had a school called Dunbar. It had 3 rooms and was segregated.
I attended this segregated school here in 1930 to 1940.
My father's name was Morgan Maxwell, and he was a principal. This was the total all-black school in southern Arizona. In order for Arizona to get statehood in 1913, 1912, they had to have segregated schools. And the first all-black school, it was built on 6th Street near 6th Avenue in back of a bakery. The African Americans wanted a permanent school, so they built Dunbar, which is on North 11th Avenue and West 2nd Street. It's the first 3 rooms.
Really, we did better than the kids at Mansfield and Roscouch and in Safford and at Wakefield, because if you made a poor grade at Dunbar and the teacher would contact your parents and tell your parents that you were not doing well. So we were like one big happy family. The only way out with the girls, there were 2 ways. You could either be a maid or get more education. Or with the boys, you could go into the military or be a janitor or get more education. So we pushed education here in the Dunbar.
They might have received books or desks that were secondhand.
We used to have a book burning here. Every now and then, if they'd give us secondhand books from the Roscouch and Mansfield and Safford, we would burn the books because we wanted first-class books too.
When I was a little girl, they integrated this school and they changed the name from Dunbar to John Spring. In my opinion, maybe to erase some of the past, but it's really sad because it's a very rich past. Dunbar was Paul Laurence Dunbar, who was a poet.
People don't want to hear that I couldn't eat at any restaurant in Tucson. People want to forget about segregation.
I found out that Davis Bilingual Magnet School was English only.
You couldn't speak Spanish in the rooms. You had to speak Spanish outside. That's the only time, we spoke Spanish. I was only, 5, 6 years old. We spoke Spanish outside in the playground. They couldn't stop us there.
If they would speak Spanish, they would get their mouths washed out with soap. I remember that. As a child, you wonder, well, why were you doing that? They're speaking the language that they know and that they feel comfortable with. And as I've gotten older, I've done a little research and thought about it, and I think once you take a language from a person, you many times are taking their identity. And so that harms a person, that can destroy a person.
A lot of prominent Tucsonians have come through Davis School. They were instrumental in reorganizing the Barrio Neighborhood Association.
And I'd make sure that my child would go to Davis Elementary School, which is a neighborhood school, and not sent out someplace else. Because that is an excellent school, and they really believe in their culture and the bilingual part of life.